Hello homies, I have decided to start the Homeopathy Hangout Bulletin board, which I'll attach at the start of each episode and update every now and again so I can provide you with some up-to-date information on courses, new books and events happening in the world of homeopathy worldwide. So the current update is from 15 September, which means that if you've already heard this bulletin, you can skip ahead to the episode. If you haven't, then stick around so you don't miss out. If you're a homeopath who would like to share about your new course, book or event, or maybe a homeopathic charity who is in need of donations, email me at info@eugeniekruger.com so that I can add you to our bulletin board. To kick things off, I am super excited to tell you that my beautiful friend Denitsa Appeline-Matic, who's been on the podcast a few times now, has released some new books. One of them is called Born Feisty. There is also Nature's Medicine Code and The Blueprint Method. I was reading The Blueprint Method on the plane on our way back from the Bali conference, and this book resonated with me so deeply. I just quickly want to read out a bit of a synopsis from her website for you on these books. So for Nature's Medicine Code, it says, have you ever wondered why some medicines and foods make you sick and other medicines and foods don't? What if everything you put into your body, medicines, food, toiletries and cosmetics, could be classified as health promoting or potentially illness causing by a simple mathematical number and a simple geometric shape? Pharmaceutical companies use medicine codes to classify medicines and vaccines, but what if nature has its own medicine code too, which, once you understand it, will enable you to make choices that support your health? And a quick synopsis of the Blueprint Method. It says, we are living in unprecedented times that have led to a huge expansion in our miasmatic map. Much of this is caused by trauma and the division this can cause in our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health. In this book, we explore these traumas, including the man-made influences that we see in our world today. In order to transcend these influences, it's time to work to heal the biggest organ we have, which is not our skin, it is our energy field. This is the new way of working with SAR codes and brings wholeness that transcends the challenges we see in our world today. This book represents the homeopathic remedies that transcend the multitude of miasmatic influences we now face and bring health and healing to our bodies, minds, and soul. Denitsa has also written a book called Born Feisty, which is her personal memoir. There are some themes in there that might be a little bit triggering, so I'm not going to read it out here, but I do encourage you to go to her website, denitsaappeline-matic.com. That's DANICAAPOLLINEMATIC.com. Denitsa has also recently founded the Golden Spiral School of Homeopathy, which several of my clients have joined, and everyone has already been raving about it, even though they've only had their first lessons. There's only a couple of places left, so if you still want to join last minute, you can get in touch with Denitsa through her website. I also want to share with you a really exciting course that Anke Zimmerman is running again. So Anke Zimmerman featured on episode 38 of this podcast, and she is once again running her popular course called Homeopathy Training for Autism Management and More. This is specifically for homeopaths and also some parents who are well versed in homeopathy and autism who can also apply to do this course. The course is all about helping children with autism and other challenging developmental and behavioral issues. Anke Zimmerman is a world-class homeopathic practitioner with a practice focus on autism. She is achieving consistent and predictable results with children with these challenges. She is teaching a 6-month course with live cases on the successful homeopathic management of autism and related complex cases for practitioners and some selected parents. The website is anke-zimmerman.net/homeopathy-training-autism-management-more.html. But if you just pop in Anke Zimmerman in Google, I'm sure it will come up. So that's ANKE, and her surname is ZIMMERMANN. Best of all, if you use the code HOMIES at checkout, you'll receive a $100 US discount. So remember to use the code HOMIES, HOMIES. In other news for our bulletin, for those who don't know, I have a Facebook group called Homeopathy Hangout Podcast, which I've created specifically for listeners and guests of the show. This is the place for you to connect with guests and ask them questions directly. Also, if there is something that we mentioned on the podcast that you might need some clarification on, then this is the place to ask. It's also great for any sort of events that's happening or if you want to connect with a homeopathic practitioner. So just type in Homeopathy Hangout Podcast in Facebook and the group will come up. In other news, a few months ago, my husband created our own AI bot called Jeannie. You can find her in the bottom right-hand corner of my website, www.eugeniekruger.com, and you can ask her any acute homeopathic question for free. She has already helped hundreds of people around the world for free 24/7. So go and say hi to Jeannie by visiting www.eugeniekruger.com and you'll find her in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, in case you didn't know, I sell an incredible selection of one-of-a-kind homeopathic kits that I have created myself over many years, as well as a unique selection of combination remedies which I have created myself based on a decade of clinical experience. I also have over 2,300 homeopathic remedies in our dispensary, as well as Narayana remedies. So if you're looking for a remedy that's not listed on my site, just email my team at info@eugeniekruger.com. My team processes and ships orders worldwide, and they're incredibly fast at processing your order. There's also a special section on my website under Shop that's called Royalty Remedies. These are remedies made by Denitsa Matic, like Golden Spiral and Flower of Life, as well as Paul Terrio's Welwitschia remedy, and there will be more added soon. These remedies have a 10% markup on them because that 10% of the sale of each remedy goes to the creator of the remedy to support their work. This is something that I really hope homeopaths and homeopathic pharmacies will adopt more. At the moment, it's worked really well, and I hope it will continue to grow. I also have a team of 5 homeopaths who are ready to support you in your healing journey. You can listen to my interview with all of them on episode 243 of the podcast to see who you resonate with. You can also book a free 15-minute chat with each of them before making your booking to ensure you're the right fit. They also offer acute consultations, which is great if you just can't find that right remedy for that cough or that headache or whatever else you're dealing with. You can just visit www.eugeniekruger.com and click the bookings link. And last but not least, please allow me a quick moment to plead for your financial support of this podcast. If the Homeopathy Hangout has ever been of benefit to you, please consider making a donation to support my work. You can do this by visiting www.eugeniekruger.com and click the donate button at the top. Every donation of $10 and more receives a shout out on a future episode. Many people don't realize that it costs me around $120 to produce each episode. This is for my incredible editor to edit and upload the episode, write the show notes, to upload the video to Rumble, and for my lovely VA to create the audiograms to go on the socials. So there's really a lot of work that goes on. This does not cover my time in actually recording the episodes. This is purely just the charges to actually get all the content out there and get it edited. Without your donations, the cost of running the podcast comes out of my own pocket. So please do consider donating to help me keep running the show. A few months ago, the show had just managed to break even for the first time, but we're once again running at a loss. So honestly, every tiny little bit will help. So a big thank you to everyone for listening. Oh, one quick little question as well, if you're not already. Please do check out my channel on Rumble. As you may know, YouTube deleted my channel a while ago for medical misinformation. That was due to us talking about some of the talking about vaccine injuries and some other bits and pieces on some episodes. So they just removed all 300 of my videos off YouTube and banned my account. So you can now find me on rumble.com. Just go to rumble.com/c/homeopathy hangout, or just go to rumble.com and type in homeopathy hangout, and please click on follow so you don't miss out. I am considering starting a new YouTube channel and maybe just using it for shorts or maybe just some clips so that anything that may be seen as controversial is not on there and doesn't get me in YouTube jail again. So, but for the moment, make sure that you just join us on Rumble. Whichever podcast listening app you're listening to, please click the follow button and please give us a 5-star rating. It really goes such a long way to get our stats up and to help push our podcast out to more people. So that's another way that you can help to support us. And please do share the podcast on your socials and tell your friends. Every tiny little bit helps. So thank you so much for listening and enjoy the episode.